Hi everyone, welcome at another live stream of Eagle Eye. Today we're going to talk about the E-Class Mercedes-Benz. One of the most fine cars that Mercedes-Benz make together with the S-Class. And let me see if we're really live. Yes, we're live. Let's see if the sound is good. Sound is good. We can start. We can start. First of all, I want to thank each and all of you again for subscribing to this channel. We recently made it to 10,000 subscribers. I think it's amazing. I'm a petrol head, just like I suggest all of you out there. And I make live streams from time to time, once a month, and once a month I drop a video. I have something very special coming the 1st of October, so stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's go into this website. This is kind of a website that indexes all other car websites in Holland, in the Netherlands. So basically you get to find almost everything that's out there. And the criteria for today is, of course, the brand Mercedes-Benz. The model is going to be the E-Class. The E-Class. We're not going to bother with model year or anything like that. We're just going to set the price at 15,000 euros as a maximum and see what's out there. And it only finds 827 vehicles, which is not a whole lot, but it probably includes diesel, petrol, and everything. Why I like the E-Class? The E-Class is the bread and butter of Mercedes. I like sedans, but I also like wagons. They have a certain elegance about them, and they are just overall put together pretty well. Build quality is good. Of course, there are some issues with the paint, but engine-wise, especially the diesels, they are one of the best diesels out there, and it makes total sense to have a big inline six diesel in the car, because it's just very refined and it's a very nice long distance cruiser. So let's go in there what we can find. 2011, 2003. Okay, this is a gasoline. Here in the Netherlands, petrol and everything is for the guy that drives some kilometers, but diesel is for the guy that drives lots of kilometers, because the road tax for diesels are basically double than the one from petrol. So it really depends. And these are not very, they're not lightweight cars. So here we have an avant-garde, it looks like, yes. 320. Back then, if you had an E320, that meant that you still had I think a V6 or an inline 6. I'm not really sure. I'm sorry about that. I think it's an inline 6. Let's check out this car. Almost 8K. I think it's imported, so it might be a car that's imported from Germany. That's always a little bit tricky when it comes to the history. Again, these cars are quite reliable, but they need their service history. Classic Mercedes-Benz from that era. I think this is the most beautiful modern Mercedes. And I say modern, I mean this is early 2000s. When I talk about classic Benzes, I think I like the W124 the best. That's just a classic Benz. Does look fine. You can see the age here when it comes to the entertainment system, but I'm sure you can still connect your phone to it. Back then they had all these Nokia phones. I don't know what build year you are, but I'm build year 85, so I remember it all. Let's see. Not bad, not bad. 160,000 kilometers driven. I don't really buy that. This car is 2003. Who buys an E-Class and drives? Yeah. And again, it's imported. I can tell by the license plate. So it's kind of shady, but the car looks good. Anything else worth mentioning? Okay, it does say it has a Nationale Autopass, which is like a nationwide car passport, so to speak. So every time you go to the garage to have it serviced, we put down the number of kilometers into the system so we can see, if it all matches. Apparently it matches, but again, I can tell by the Kenteken, which is the license plate, that it's an import car, probably from Germany, and there are some schemes going on at the very moment. So yeah, nice car, but I would keep on looking. See, this is 7 years younger. This is a 1.8, so I think it's kind of an entry level C class, E class. I'm sorry, I'm getting rusty at this. Let's check. A black Benz. This is the W212 generation, so this is a newer generation. Maybe you like that styling more. This is already way more modern. I think also when it comes to the paint job, these cars are better than the older generations. I mean, the late 90s, early 2000s was horrible, and around 2005, 2006, Mercedes started using better paint and using better rust protection. It also really depends what kind of country you're from. The Netherlands, it rains a lot. Sometimes we do have a harsh winter, and we put salts on the roads. So that all affects the chassis, and if the chassis is not really rust protected, yeah, I mean, the problems line up. If you're from Southern California, for instance, where it barely rains, and if it rains like 1 hour or 2 hours later, everything is dry again, it's all good. The Avant-Garde is, I think, one of the most luxury of the Mercedes lineup. We have this flickering screen. No, we don't. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. Don't know what that is. 2010. Let's see if we have something special here. 2007. Wow, the E500. So this is the V8. I think this back then was the 5-liter. 2007. See, this is something special. This is something that Mercedes will not really build anymore. The E500, this is a non-AMG E-Class. Let's open this up. Classic Benz. I always loved this generation. This is the W211. Always loved this a lot. The early 2000s, dual exhausts. Yeah. Looking good. Let's see the specifications. This has 388 horsepower. So this is kind of the top of the E-classes, non-AMG E-classes, I should say. Because you already had the E55 for this generation and the E63 AMG. An E500. Yeah, classic dials. 211,000 kilometers driven, almost 212,000, which is, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. If you use this car for the weekend only, basically. Automatic gearbox. Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, Mercedes just look the best in black and gray and white, don't they? So almost 13,000 euros, so well within budget. The E500, 5 doors, 388 horsepower, so a little bit under 400 horsepower. What else? Technical specifications. So it's a 5.5 8-cylinder. Top speed is limited electronically at 250. What else is here? The car weighs 1785 kilos, so it's not really a lightweight car, but it's a big, heavy, luxury, fast car. All the options it has. The environment. Average like a little bit under 9 liters on 100 kilometers. Average. So on the highway it gets better, but in town it's probably horrible. It's probably 1 liter every 5 kilometers, something like that. But you got this beautiful 8 cylinder from Mercedes. This is a nice car, definitely. It's within budget. I mean, it's too bad that they don't show a license plate, because based on the license plate you can get a lot of information. But look at it. Look at it. I love the lines, and it's not shouty at all. But when you look at the back, just this big twin exhaust, you know it's not a regular E-Class. Not bad at all. But I would want to know the license plate and get more information on it. These kind of cars, they're, yeah, 13K in euro. That's fine for like a top model E-Class from 2007. That's fine. But if the maintenance is not done well, no regular oil changes, this car needs the premium fuel, yeah, I think the V8s from Mercedes I have a long track record. I mean, they have the bi-turbos, they have V8s for a very long time already. Mercedes is good in building V8s, but again, I mean, if you buy a car like this without any history on it, yeah, you might be lucky, but you might be in for a hell of a smack in the head. Don't fly blind on a car like this. Or if you're a mechanic yourself, then you could take a guess, right? But this is the nicest I find so far. Definitely beautiful. Let's see. This is 10K. This is 2011. This is station, but this is a diesel. Yeah, just real quickly, I don't know if any American viewers out there like wagons. I mean, Americans are mostly into SUVs, but Europeans are more into wagons. And this is a beautiful wagon, for yourself, for your kids. Put the dog in the back, things like this. Yeah, we see the interior. Anything else? Anything special here? Strange pictures. Let's back out. It's not very interesting. It's a diesel, that's why it's a little bit less expensive, because diesels are slowly getting banned. I mean, this 2011 is 10 years old. I mean, you can still drive around a while, but things like this 95 300D, cars like these are getting banned from the Dutch cities at least. And also in Germany, it's getting more and more difficult to drive old diesels in the city center. These diesels were built for longevity and not necessarily reducing emissions. So, I mean, they are more polluting than modern day diesels. But when you make lots and lots of miles, I mean, I would go for old diesel. Really, I would check the state the car is in, check the chassis for rust, give it rust protection, see if the engine is still fine, and I would just drive lots of kilometers for a couple of days and a couple of years and ditch it. These cars, I don't think they will turn classic anytime soon. But this is the car from '95. This is basically the first E-Class. Before this was the W124, an iconic car. Yeah, in some regards that was the first E-Class, but they didn't have the badge. They were not badged E-Class yet. This was. So 95, E300, they say diesel here. You also don't see that no more. Well, for the age, this is 95. This is a long time ago. Classic bands. You can tell the age of this car, but all in all, not too bad. This mileage here doesn't make any sense to me. Could be right, could be wrong, have no idea. Back then we still had the manual, so this is a 5-speed I see. Yeah, diesel engine, 300 is probably a V6 or an inline. I'm sorry guys, I sometimes have trouble knowing if it's an inline or V6. Very quick Google search will tell you. I think this one is an inline, looks like it. Yeah, this is an inline, I think. Okay, so this is a Dutch report saying that the kilometer on this car is logisch, which is like it's explainable, and you see every kind of year it had a service. Um, do I say that correctly? Okay, this is already strange. This is a car from '95, right? So it starts here in 2003. And in 2003, when the car was 8 years old, it only driven just under 60,000 kilometers. Nah, I don't know. It's all shady. It's all shady. But that might leave you some room to negotiate if you know something about these diesels. You know what to look out for. I mean, you can still get yourself quite a decent car. Definitely, this is an old car, and you have to drive quite some miles with it. Yeah, you can also buy a modern day diesel, definitely, but you won't drive something like this. This is 6K, so this is really on the low end of the budget. This is 2005. This is also gasoline. Let's see if we find something special. E-Class Coupe, 2009, a 1.8. Okay, not interesting enough. Another E500, or at least it looks like a 2002. Gasoline, 5-liter V8. 162,000 kilometers. I don't know, guys. I got a shady feeling with these kilometers. I just don't trust it. I just don't. Here you see a nice S-Class here on the back. Yes. Wow, it's polished. It's a polished third. It's really polished. I mean, this is also old. This is an old Benz, guys, but I think it looks great. It has timed. It has aged very well. Here this says dealer onderhouden is it's been always been maintained by a dealer. But is this dealer or is it Mercedes dealer? There's also a difference between that, right? Anyway, let's see. They say it's a 500. I don't see any stickers or seats are okay-ish. Yeah, it's okay. It's all white leather. You see it's been used, but that's understandable. The car is also here. Multi-garage. So no Mercedes-Benz dealer, I think. Bestätigung. Maybe it's also an import car, who knows. Okay, now let's back out here. So it's an E500. More specifications. So this one has 308 horsepower and the other E500 we see has 388 horsepower. Where does the other 80 go? You tell me. So I'm not sure if this is the E500. I don't know what it is today. Also, this is a 5-liter V8 and the other one was 5.5, if I say that correctly. Strange. So this is 15K 2012, 9 years old, 300 CDI V6 edition, a sports edition, just 50 euros under budget. These are relatively young Benzes. 15K. Again, if you need to drive lots of miles, this sport. Yeah, yes. Okay, we're gonna do like this. Zoom in a little bit. Great. Yeah, sport. I never saw E-Class that low. But it does have its charm somehow. It does. Right? I mean, I'm a Mercedes-Benz fan. This is quite new. It's 2 generations back. All leather interior. Not too bad. Also a nice generation, this W212, definitely. They say it's the first owner and they say it's maintained by dealers. So Yeah, it does have style, doesn't it? But it's a diesel. So again, I don't know where you're from in the world, Europe, the United States. It really depends, you know, if you have to do lots of miles and you want a reliable engine, Mercedes diesels are one of the best diesels in the world. I can guarantee you that. I don't know about reliability too much because you're always going to have some issues. These cars are full of technology, and this one is now almost 10 years old, so there will be something. Look at the size of the screen. I mean, you can tell this is not new. But let's just see. This is 300 CDI V6. The Sport AMG pack is on it. It has 18-inch wheels. It's driven 250,000 kilometers, which is okay for diesel. It has an automatic. This has a 7G Tronic. Yeah, it has AMG styling, so it's not an AMG, but it has AMG styling. Anything else? Not bad, guys. For 15K, 2012 Benz, and it's a wagon. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not a nice pick. Avant-Garde, the 280, 2006, 2010. Let's see, there's something that really catches my eye. CDI, 200 compressor, 2004. I mean, 2004, guys, it's a long time ago. Who buys an E-Class and after all those years only racks up 150,000 kilometers? Could be for somebody that drives to the supermarket in style, but I don't buy it. I think it's strange. Need to have a good story, you know. 2006, also a station, 9K. I mean, if you like stations, you can tell the age, but this car, it's I've been in an E-Class a couple of times because the taxi's here, but the driving comfort and the quietness on board is just great, and they all feel like a tank on the road, right? It's unbelievable. The license plate matches the age of the car. This is also 2006. It's a classic car. 200. I don't know if this has the compressor. Wow, this is definitely in line. So I think the other diesel was also in line. Let's see, automatic. Let's back up a little bit. What is this? This is a compressor. Yes. So we want to get more information. So this is a 4-cylinder, a 1.8 with a compressor. So no turbo, it has a compressor. And it produces altogether 165 horses. Top speed is 218 kilometers an hour. 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers is 10 seconds. It's still quite fast. It's a heavy car. Yeah. It doesn't look bad for 9,000 euros. The only problem is when there's something with these kind of cars and you go to a Mercedes dealer, you pay a lot. If you can do your own maintenance, it will save a lot. But the bottom line is for not a whole lot of money, you can buy a lot of car. And let's say, for instance, that your budget is 15, right? 15K. Then you spend 9 on the car, you still have 6 in your pocket. And then you can, if you really like this car, you can also spend some money up front on an independent dealer that goes with you and you say, I want that car. After you drive first, or let's go back. First, you really take a test drive, right? You feel the car, you listen to the sound, you accelerate, you hit the brakes, you see how the car responds. If the steering wheel is wobbly, everything, you check it all. You do it with a gut feeling and you do it with the feeling that you think this car is worth it. If you then want the car, you still take an independent guy with you that you pay some money, of course, to do an inspection, and he inspects the car at, let's say, 100 fundamental points, and he will tell you the status that the car is in. You can either use that to negotiate, or you can say, okay, I'll buy this car now for 9K. I still have a few things to do, and I spend another 2K, and then for 11K, I have a spotless C-Class in my driveway. That's how you should look at it. But again, these cars are old. You need to do something depending on how much you drive on with this car, of course. But you need to do something from time to time to keep it in optimal working shape. But overall, these cars are built well. Here we have something so we can attach a trailer. So I want to know if this car has been used for pulling trailers through the mountains lots of times, because this is definitely wear and tear on the gearbox. It also wear and tear on the engine, on the brakes, everything. Your car just has to work double as hard. And that shouldn't be a whole lot of like a big problem, but it can tell you something about the previous owner. So I always look for these kind of signs. Moving on. 320 CDI. See if we find an AMG here, but I don't think so. Wow, this is a TD. So this is before CDI. They had the TD standing for turbo diesel. Man, these are old-fashioned. But you see, almost 300,000 kilometers driven, 96, a long time ago. And this makes more sense to me. And if this car drives good, yeah, you can drive another 100,000, 150,000 kilometers with it for a little bit more than 3K. And again, if this car breaks on you, it bails on you, and you got a big repair bill costing you 2K, I mean, yeah, leave it there, right? Just leave it there. I skipped something here. 2003 model, only 61,000 kilometers. This is a young timer. Yes, it is a young timer, but who believes that mileage? In red, you don't see them often in red. You know, I'm crazy about this car. I think you can already tell. I mean, this model. Let's do it like this. Wow, this website sucks. The 240, so the almost 2.5 liter. This must be a V6 as well. Paint work and wheels and everything looks okay. It does look spotless. It really makes you wonder who buys a car like this. Like a rapper from the early 2000s that just wanted this on his driveway and then left it in the garage for years. It's also not good for the car, but it has to be said, this looks good. It looks good. Or it has been detailed, you know. You can do that as well. Again, this looks okay. What they want for this. Let's see what they want. 2003, it's a long time, guys. Okay. Okay, how much? Okay, almost 12K. Yeah, is that worth it? 2003? It does look spotless. Let's check the engine. So almost a 2.6. Let's see. Doesn't say anything about how much cylinders. I think it's an inline 6. Just a second, guys. No. No. Okay, now moving on. Let's see if we find something out of the ordinary. Otherwise, I go back to the 80s and 90s with the W124, and I think there will be some pieces in there. Here, this is the 124. You see, there's a convertible from 95. These cars are getting somewhat of a collector status now. This is really from the time that the Mercedes was all nuts and bolts. Build quality on these cars are quite good. Again, these are old, so things might break on you, but engineering wise, these cars were pretty good. Rust is also an issue in these cars, mostly due to age, not necessarily because the paint job was bad or sub quality, substandard quality, but they're just old. Okay, I don't necessarily like this convertible, but it has a collector status. This is the W124, ladies and gentlemen. And more than a year ago, I was also looking for one of these, but eventually I didn't do it. It's very hard to find a good example. But engineering wise, man, these are bulletproof. This, again, is from an era when Mercedes-Benz was run by engineers and not by accountants. And yeah, that just resulted in one of the best era for Mercedes when it comes to reliability, basically. Nowadays, cars are just built with the idea that they should last at least 10 to 15 years, and that's it. Different times. And I respect that. I respect good engineering. I really do. 2010. An E500 E-Class. We saw one earlier, but this is the wagon. Yeah, I love this generation. I do. Can't stress it enough. I really do. Can you imagine having this in the E63 AMG lineup? You have like a wagon with a bi-turbo or supercharged V8, and you have all the space around you. But I think that the E500 is still elegant to a certain degree. You can't tell there's a V8 here under the hood. You just can't. You just enjoy it in peace. Classic Mercedes wheels. Here we have the V8. Come on, guys. Yes. Nice. Yeah, I really like these cars. I really do. I would really want to buy one actually. But I'm happy with what I have now. I don't need that much space, but damn, if I need to move and I got 5 kids and a dog, this is the family car. And you can easily drive 500 kilometers no problem, even more. These are built for the highway. And you get there in great comfort and great style. And these are not that expensive anymore. They're also not very new anymore, but also with certain cars, I like this era from Mercedes. I still like it. When I look at the new E-Class, I understand it and it's full of gadgets and oh, it has so much technology that can make your life easier. But sometimes you just have the idea you're driving a PlayStation on wheels, It has not really much to do with quality engineering anymore. And that's exactly what I wanted. Now, this looks fantastic. I mean, a little bit of wood and leather. It's like you're sitting in a coffee bar or something, right? I just love it. And when you've been in one, even in the back seat, you just understand what I mean. What this is a tank. It's just simply a tank. When you close the door, when you open the door, you feel the weight. When you sit in it and you hear that either diesel or a nice V8 in the background, and when you don't floor it all the time, it's quiet in there. Uh, the handling is great, gives you great confidence in the corners. Man, I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is just the way you want it. At least that's how I want it. Let's go back. Let's see if we can back out of here. No, let's just finish the slideshow then, or can we back out of here? Yeah, we can, I think. Okay, wait a second. We're gonna do it differently. We're gonna do this again. No. Come on. Yes. Like that. Okay, we're back. So Also around 13k, 2004, 117,000 kilometers. I don't buy that. The license plates say it's imported after 2008, so this is probably also a car coming from Germany. It has 306 horsepower, full option. It's the E500, top of the class, non-AMG. It has a 5-liter V8. Some specs. On one tank of fuel, you can drive 690 kilometers. Euro 4. It has a fuel tank of 80 liters, so you do the math. 8-cylinder, 306. So the older one, the E500 had 388. Yeah, 388. You can also still tune these cars. They're well tunable, but I mean, 300 horsepower, 350 horsepower is enough, really. Okay, anything else? Oh, this looks too bad. I just have to show you this. This is somebody been real funny. 2002. Ah, it's getting old, guys. This looks like a drug dealer car. Maybe there's still some bags of cocaine in the back. Who knows? You know, you might get lucky, or you might sell it for fuel. You know, who knows? Anyway, all kidding aside, nah, it's just nah. Let's see. Anything else? Wow. An elegance E-Class is this. This looks like a coupe. It is a coupe. 93. Different times, guys. Different times. But this could be a nice weekend car as well. If you have some space, if you have a big garage. I mean, buying the car is not a big biggie, right? If you save a little bit, or maybe you don't even need to save, you spend this kind of money, you have this kind of car. It is a classic. It is a classic Benz. I'm not sure if they're easy to work on. Parts are still readily available because this was such a success for Mercedes-Benz. This was a cab in the Netherlands, in Germany, in lots of European countries. They've been built. A couple of million have been built, and Mercedes still has parts. But it's just, you know, you gotta like, wow. Okay. Next. Who does that, man? Ooh. Yeah, I think there's still some work to be done. I think that's why they have this kind of price, because you have a spotless car like this. I mean, they're getting collectible, these cars. It's from a different era, you know. Basically, the first E-Class. Yeah, if you're nostalgic enough, if you are an 80s kid or 90s kid like me, then you get nostalgic about it. I still remember the days when they drove around in our city streets. It's probably also been imported. I'd see German there. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Dutch people don't buy something like this in 93. I don't know what to tell you guys. Well, Almelo is close to the German border. It must be imported. Yeah, it's a strange color, but you barely see a coupe. But I have to show you some vehicle specifications. So the 220, let's see what this is, 93 automatic. Here, 2005, it was imported in the Netherlands. So before that, it was probably Germany. It drove around in Germany in the 90s. Euro 1 emissions, that's how old it is. Let's see, it racks up 150 horsepower from... is there more about the engine? It's a 4-cylinder, 2.2 4-cylinder. Naturally aspirated, so no turbos, no nothing. 150 horsepower. and the car weighs 1375 kilos. So by no means this is a fast car. This is a tourer, like a boulevard cruiser, basically. Yeah, could be a nice project car. Let me put it like this. But I like the sedans better. Wow, here the W123 from '82. Let's see if my live stream still works. Just a second. I think so. Yeah, just checking if we have some technical problems or not. No, we're still here. So this is 82, 220,000 kilometers driven. 13k. It's a lot of money for an old car. But these cars are also built like tanks. You still see them around on the roads. You see them in Germany a little bit more. Old grandpas still drive them, right? All the way to the right on the Autobahn, but they're having a great time. These cars are slow. Oh, this is nice. A 360. Yeah, look at this. This is 80s. This was an E-Class in the 80s. When you talk about built like a tank, this is built like a tank. So I think 13k is quite a lot of money, but it looks like it's hold its age pretty well. You gotta be in this. I like driving a classic Benz. There's also a channel out there that's Mercedes Source or something like that. He always works on these old Benzes, and he is a mechanic. He can really appreciate the craftsmanship that went into these kind of cars. The fact that they're still on our roads today, that says enough. I mean, this car is almost 40 years old. Yeah, classic. Why not? If you don't drive a lot, looks like it's well documented. Let's go over some specs. I can't wait. So 90, 80, 82, 230e. So from 82 to 94, it was in Germany, and in the summer of 94, it was imported in the Netherlands. So it's also an import car. 4-cylinder. The 2.3 makes sense. Turning out 99 horsepower. So by no means this is a fast car, but it's a very durable car. Funny, guys. Let's see if we find something still special, and otherwise we call this a day. The 240, 350 CDI. Oh, we have many more. Let's see if we can... let's see if we can find an AMG or something. If there's an AMG under 15k. 32. These are not AMG, come on. This looks like one, but it also says it's a 500 Avant-Garde. I don't see no AMGs in here. Maybe AMG line. Wow, here we talk. See, this is what I'm talking about. 93. Why are they still worth so much money? Because people want them. This is actually the one that you want. This was like the cap here in Europe. And this one looks okay. But 9,000 is quite a lot of money for a car this age. But what is this? A 2 or 500? Okay, what is this? I have to know. So this is 93. Yes, it's a 4-cylinder, 2-liter 4-cylinder. So this is an E200. Yes, it's not a 500. Maximum speed, model. What else can we find? 136 horsepower. Maximum speed 200 kilometers an hour. Okay, we go back. That's a lot of money, guys. But it says it only driven 84,000 kilometers, which is nothing. You still willing to spend 9k on this? It really depends. An E200, so it's by no means a fast car. It's not a E320 or E400 or E500. I mean, the E500 from that time, that is something special. But this is just what your successful neighbor bought in the 90s, right? 93. I told you guys these go for quite some money if they're spotless. Anyway, let's see. Now let's go back to that AMG that we saw here. Here we are, 2004. This is not an AMG. I think we saw this one. No, we didn't saw this one before. So this does have an AMG package, but is it an AMG? This is kind of what an E63 AMG looked like with this bumper. You had the E55 AMG and you had the E63 AMG for this generation. Okay, this is a AMG, and if I see it correctly, it's the E55 AMG. Yes, yes. Okay. See, it looks like a standard E-Class until you put your foot down. Oh, this is not standard. Okay. Show me the other side where it says A55. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, this is shady. This is shady. Okay, what do you think? Okay, this just has the 5 liter V8. Okay, this car doesn't make any sense. I don't know what it is today, guys. I just keep finding shady cars. Maybe it's just the time. Non-turbo. This was naturally aspirated 5-cylinder. It's so sneaky, this picture here from the back, because it looks like it's a E55 AMG here. I can't tell. Let's zoom in. Oh, this is such a shady picture. It looks like, I think actually it's an E500, yes, with an AMG conversion. So I think these tailpipes are fake. I think the car has been lowered, and we had to have some new body panels installed, but it's not an E55. And then still asking 13k for it. Yeah, guys, this being said, I mean, if you want a guy from Europe, if you want a car from Europe, go to Germany. Go to Germany. They will also screw you up with the mileages, definitely, but have an independent dealer go with you. Have an independent mechanic go with you. I don't know what's with my words today, but have an independent mechanic go with you. Check the car out, and he knows what to look out for. This is just plain shady. It looks good, but there are many nice cars out there that we found. I mean, one more time, Mercedes-Benz DE class here, maximum of 15k. Petrol here, this one This one looks alright, but I think it was also the only shady thing about this car is that there's no license plate. So there's no way I can do my own research to see if this is all correct. But classic Benz, loving it, loving it, loving it. I really like this car. The W124, the one that you saw, that's from 93, 94, 95. I love it because of the engineering, because of the classic styling. But if I have to pick one that kind of combines modern Benzes with some electronics and great styling and great engines, and man, this W211, it's just a shit. I love it. I love it. And if I would have the balls, this would be on my driveway. But I don't know why I don't do it. I do know why I do it. Because you can buy this, no problem. That's not the problem, but it's maintenance. It's things that can go wrong in these cars. And you should always put quite a chunk of money on the side. Doesn't mean that you need to spend it every year, but you're driving a Benz and you're gonna pay like a Benz. Not to say that it's needed, but you know how it goes in this world. I mean, before you know it, you need to pay. And with great power comes great financial responsibility. Because if you have more than 300 horses, then your rear tires will also go way faster. And if you hit the throttle quite fast, man, sometimes those tires won't even last 10,000 kilometers. And that's just the way it is. You all have to take that in consideration. And when you have that much horsepower, you probably want to have some premium tires on your car as well. So, it can be an expensive hobby. But, you can drive around like a king. Just the aesthetics of the car and it having it on the driveway. You can just sit down, open a chair, having a cold beer in your hand and looking at your car. That already gives you joy. At least that's what I would do. But I think that's where we ended for today, guys. I mean, next month we'll probably do the S-Class, and after that we'll see what else we still do. I will still mainly focus on buying reviews, but from time to time I just drop a live stream like this. I don't know, something today is just, I find a lot of shady cars. But I told you why they're shady, and I hope you can do something with that, especially if you're watching and you're from the Netherlands and you see how I pick cars and what I focus at and why I think it's shady. I hope you can, learn something from it when you're in the process to actually buy a car and ask the right set of questions and what to think about when you are actually trying to purchase a car. Test driving, have it independently inspected. If you find something during the inspection, negotiate it to lower the price. Have a budget in mind, and don't spend all your money that you have on purchasing the car and then realize that this car will probably do drown 1 liter of fuel every 5 to 6 kilometers when you're on it. That probably when you buy the car, the back tires are already worn down, or they just put some cheap rubbers on the back. So, that's just how it goes in automotive country, right? That's how it goes. Don't expect that you get the best of the best for 15K. There's no way. I'm sure there are cars like this out there, E500, and can cost you 30K. But then it's all spotless and you're good to go. But who spends that much on a car that's that old? Yeah, it all depends. So that's really what I try to tell you guys. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Very soon we come with another buying review. And again, thanks for subscribing to my channel. I will keep on doing this until the wheels fall off. And thanks for watching. Have a great evening, afternoon or morning or wherever you're from. Thanks for watching.